Strength training is a missing component for so many runners. I love strength training, have been doing it for about 5 years. Recently, in the past 2 years, have blended strength training and running, long distance running. Today, I'm talking through how I'm combining strength training and running as I train for the Great World Race. The Great World Race is 7 marathons, 7 days on all 7 continents. And hi, my name is Drury, and I'm doing it in November 2026. I'm recording this video in October 2025, so I've got about 13 months. I'm going to talk about how I'm going to be blending the running and the training, because people are like, how do you even run that much? I gotta be smart, I gotta build myself up to be strong. I'm thinking about bulletproofing my body, and that's where the strength training comes in. It is the bulletproofing of my body. Reason number 1 why I'm putting strength training at the forefront of my training for the Great World Race: injury prevention. We all have in our bodies cemented movement patterns. Strength training helps to balance out the muscles that we generally tend to overcompensate in other ways. For example, a lot of people will have their knees collapse inwards while they're running. Well, if you strengthen your glutes, that will help to externally rotate your legs a little bit as you run, so that when you land, when you're running, your knee is trekking over your second toe, not inwards, because that puts a lot of strain on our IT band and our inner thighs. Strength training also helps with our overall strength, building up strong muscles, most importantly, strong glutes, strong quads, strong calves, strong lower back, which is basically the result of a strong core, in order to keep us with a good running posture and a good running form. Because the worst thing that we can do is, when we get tired, is start to crouch over, and then our butt starts sticking out. There's a Jess Sims, she's a Peloton running instructor. I heard her say once, take your butt with you. Take your butt with you. You'll see those runners that the farther they go, the more they start to crouch in. That's not what we want. Strength equals more endurance, less injuries, and overall better running form, which keeps you much more efficient in your run. What this is going to look like for me in a week is I'm going to do 2 harder days a week, 2 heavy lifting days a week, and then I'm going to do 2 core and accessory workouts a week. My 2 harder days are going to be barbell focused, heavy focused. They're going to be in reps about 6 to 8 to 10, and they're going to be 1 full body pulling movement day. That's going to be things like deadlifts, barbell, rows, chin-ups, anything that's a pulling motion. Second heavy workout is going to be a full body push day. This is going to be things like squats, hip thrusts, bench press, overhead press. And I'm going to be making them heavy, because this is building up the strength, but it's also building up muscular endurance. And when you're running, you need your muscles to have a lot of endurance. So that's why the 2 very heavy, 1 full body push day, 1 full body pull day. And then the core and accessory days are going to be much lighter, focusing on core, a little bit of jumping work, because with the feet and the ankles, we want them to be able to spring and rebound and have some power there. So I'll be doing things like that. What kind of exercises on the heavy workout days am I going to be doing? I'm focusing on compound lifts. Compound lifts are exercises that use more than 1 joint. When you're using more than 1 joint, you're using more muscle groups. This is good for runners because it builds endurance in our bodies and endurance with our strength, because when we run, we are using more than one muscle group, definitely more than 1 joint. So compound lifts, the big lifts, squats, deadlifts, bench press, hip thrusts, overhead press, and chin-ups. Those are the foundations. Everything else is going to be built around those. Now, to round out this video, I'm going to talk about a rule that I'm going to be breaking. This is a big rule that if you are a runner, if you break this rule, I'm breaking it. Because if you know the rules, you know how to use the rules, you can break the rules. There is a general rule of thumb, if you use strength training for your running, that you want to do your hardest strength training days on your hardest running days, because it builds muscular endurance. It also gives you more time to recover. Totally legit. If you are training for 1 marathon, a half marathon, that is an excellent strategy to deploy. Because I'm training for 7 marathons over 7 days, back to back to back to back to back to back, I have to train my body to run tired. Training my brain to run tired, that's for a whole other video. But I have to train my body to run on very tired legs. So the rule that I'm going to be breaking is that I am going to be doing heavy strength training days. I'll do a heavy push day, which is squats, hip thrusts, and then I will do a longer run the next day. That's generally a no-no, but I do it because I've got to train myself physically for my body to learn how to run on tired legs, and mentally to know what that feels like, so that when I get there, I'm not freaked out by it. Done this a million times, I'm gonna do that. So that's the rule I'm going to be breaking, and that's rounding out this video. I will be teaching myself to run on tired legs over and over and over and over and over again. Not to the point of exhaustion. I'm not gonna be stupid about this. I'm not going to keep breaking myself down. I've got to do that about once or twice a week. So I'm not going to do it all the time, but once or twice a week, I've got to do a heavy leg day and then a heavy run the next day. It's just the way it's got to go, but that's why I'm doing this, here to discover all the new things. How am I going to deal with that mentally? I'm here for it. I'm excited. But that's where the proper recovery and the proper nutrition, if you haven't watched the video on my nutrition currently, you can go watch that. But this is where recovery, like I got to sleep hard, I recover hard, take all the supplements, which will be another video on how to recover, on recovering best. I get super focused in my workouts, super focused in my running, super focused in my strength training, super focused in my nutrition, my recovery. But that's why I'm doing all of this, because I'm here to discover things, and hopefully you'll learn something along the way. I hope that this was interesting, gave you a little something to think about as you go on your training journey for whatever you're running a race or you're thinking about becoming a runner. There's something you learned here, something you want to apply to your own journey. Regardless, if you are running, you must strength train. If you're looking for a place, if you're a woman, 40 plus, come into my app. I've got everything you need. All the training that I'm going to be doing is all in my app. And plus there's a community of other women, and there are some runners, some not, but we're all moving forward in the same direction. Please subscribe to my channel, put any comments below of any other videos you'd like to see coming up, anything else I can be helpful with, questions, comments, all the things. Have an amazing day. Thank you so much for being here.